the cutting edge are not necessarily those of the company.
Your radio, touching edges on your stereo, yeah. Mutabaruka leads the way, so just you let the station play, yeah. Say your teachings got to hold on me, yeah. Well, this is Kimani and you're listening to, Mutabaruka. IRFM.
Mark Golden, who said that the bill was approved by Cabinet on Monday. It says amendment to the Dangerous Drugs Act will be tabled in the Senate this week. In addition, Mr. Golden says the Ganja Reform Act 2015 will see a number of changes made by the treatment of trafficking of ganja and will allow for religious use, among other things. In addition, the revised provision in the bill will see the exclusion of hemp from the definition of dangerous drugs and the removal of existing penalties for smoking ganja. The legislation makes provision for smoking ganja in a public place to become ticketable. On a list to where I go on, and don't get confused, All right. The man them say the legislation makes provision for smoking ganja in a public place to become a ticketable infraction, as well as allow for the cultivation of live. All right, come. Where the paper there? This connect? I am going to say it connect. The legislation makes provision for smoking ganja in a public place to become a ticketable infraction, ticketable infraction, as well as allow for the cultivation of 5 or fewer ganja plants on premises for medical or therapeutic use. Okay, so here they must say, you must not smoke ganja in public place or you will get a ticket. Just like if you have speed on the road, you get a ticket. Okay. That means that's a criminal offense. And you can plant 5 or fewer ganja plants on premises for medical or therapeutic use. That means, Money gotta go back home now. She not gonna left IRFM, go back home now because she can plant herbs. The bill will also empower the Justice Minister to authorize a person, group or organization adhering to the Rastafarian faith to cultivate ganja to be used for religious purposes, as well as declare an event, okay, as well as declare an event, an exempt event to allow for the use of ganja in adherence to the Rastafarian faith. The minister also said that reforms will allow for persons with chronic health issues to utilize ganja once approved by health practitioners. Okay, so listen to where I go on, Rasta events. Rasta events will be exempt. The Rastafarian faith, all right, I don't know what they're going to work out this law. The bill will empower the Justice Minister to authorize a person, okay, group or organization adhering to the Rastafarian faith to cultivate ganja to be used for religious purposes. That means they're going to go to an organization and say, all right, if we don't want to grow ganja, grow it, but it must be used for religious purposes. And is also empowered to declare an event, an exempt event to allow for the use of ganja in adherence to the Rastafarian faith, like a Naya Bingi. Like a Naya Bingi. It has said so that the Naya Bingi grounds, No police can't come on the grounds and come tell you say you can't smoke ganja on the grounds. That is what it really I say. No police can come at a Rastafari event and lock up anyone for smoke ganja. The minister also said that reforms will allow for persons with chronic health issues to utilize ganja once approved by health practitioners. Additionally, the amendment will provide for a new regulatory body, the Cannabis Licensing Authority, which will be responsible for establishing a regulated hemp and medical marijuana industry. The bill will be tabled in the upper house first, as the Justice Minister also sits in the Senate. Additionally, the Cabinet will be meeting tomorrow to discuss certain issues, including this, after which the government will update the public. Okay, so that is as far as them reach with this. That is as far, it's a bill them a pass in a bridge and situation. So I don't want a man go out there now go blow no ganja and a policeman face right now, you know, can still get arrested. I say ganja free, whoops, I blow ganja and a policeman face. No, it don't work that way. But my contention with ganja thing, you know, I know while I'm abridging them and figure out this and that. My contention with ganja is with Rasta. That Rasta got through persecution over the years for this thing here. And them should make a law, decriminalize ganja, that Rasta don't go to jail and prison for ganja. After that, them can do anything with them want. But my personal, I don't know about the next Rasta, you know. I talk about my personal thing. I don't know about how much billions can make a fight. I know billions can make a fight. I know it can use, say, all sorts of ailments. But my specific position is that Rasta shouldn't go to jail for ganja. That is my position. So if that is the position right now, where Rasta now go to jail for ganja, because, well, I can't tell you some incident. If you start telling some incident with Rasta, ganja, and even myself, yeah, it's unbelievable. Rasta will soon not go to jail for ganja, especially Bingi, when a Rastafari gathering where you have man and smoke ganja, you have police come, they come strip up the whole of the Rasta, them carry them go to jail. Like more years than they are jail all long and can't get bail and all them something. So, this is on the table. We're glad to hear that. And I want in all of my brethren, them and sisters again, I keep saying it, you know. Don't make this turn your brains into some like a political puppet. I repeat, you know, don't make this turn your brains into some political puppet where them can use now and say, see, we free Rasta with ganja, so we're not saying no Rasta, and we are the government, you know, and we, you understand? Don't make them trick, you know. Don't make them trick, you know. Okay, we were there. Brutality against a group of people for this little plant. Years. Brutality, Panchapa brutality. Panchapa brutality. Years. All it takes is a little pen, the stroke of a pen, to stop those brutality. So what was it all for? What was it all about? Yes, cutting edge.
Mutabaruka.
Yes, sir.
Well, when I listen to you, I sent you the powers, and I say, yes, man, delightful, excellent, and great.
All right, so
I love the energy, but there are parts of it that I don't understand. The exemption of Rastas. The part you're talking about, say, Rasta could smoke it at Bingi and all Rasta gathering that is put on by the Naya Bingi.
no, I say Naya Bingi, you know. Them never say Naya Bingi.
Okay, there's a Rastas.
Them say, yeah, religious purpose as well as a declare an event and exempt.
Okay.
Event to allow for the use of ganja and adherence to the Rastafarian faith. That means, the Justice Minister can authorize person, group, or organization who are adhering to the Rastafarian faith to cultivate ganja to be used for religious purposes as well as declare an event.
Okay. Like, for argument's sake.
For like a Naya Bingi.
Yeah, like a Naya Bingi. Or if Naya Bingi put on any
by a Rastafari. No, not any cultural thing. No, I never say any cultural. Listen to me, man. I never say nothing about no culture, nothing.
Got you.
It says the bill will also empower the Justice Minister to authorize a person, group, or organization adhering to the Rastafarian faith to cultivate ganja to be used for religious purposes, as well as to declare an exempt event, to allow for the use of ganja in adherence to the Rastafarian faith.
All right,
so anything pertaining to the Rastafarian faith, he can give authority for ganja to be used at that event.
All right, well, listen now, Brother Muta, something more to share. We have been using it already and go through the brutality and continue to be using it. See?
Yes.
So, presently now, will they compensate us for the brutality?
No, don't ask me that, Bridget. I don't know what they will do.
Okay, and another thing now, Brother Muta. Rastas are...
all right, tell me something. When you say compensate for what? The brutality?
The years of brutality against.
All right, so like from Carol Garden to now.
Yes.
How would you value that compensation? In by what method or mean?
Excellent. We love that question. You see, Muta, you learn, Muta.
Yeah, me know. Me I learn from you, man. Me I learn
from you. Listen now, Brother Muta. To compensate Rastas, you see? I think the best way to do it is leave Rastas alone to cultivate and use marijuana because they are separate government.
But you're not listening to me read. But you repeat what we read already.
No, listen, man. May I share something with you? Then them now, as the Jamaican government, which is a British organization, right, purchase marijuana from the Ethiopian government and package it and distribute it among their
purchase it from which government?
From the Ethiopian government to the Rastas. Ethiopian government.
Which part of Rasta Ethiopian government?
All I and I. We're not talking Roman Catholic one.
No, wait, no, hold on, man.
The Bobo Shanty.
Brethren, hold on, man. Me could be realistic, yes, man. Me could be realistic, yes, brethren. The man them don't tell you say they going to allow Rasta to plant certain amount of ganja for religious purposes. And I may ask you a question now, how the compensation for the brutality would go? And you are saying now they must allow Rasta to plant, cultivate ganja for religious for Rasta.
Industrial and then purchase it.
Who must purchase it from who?
The Jamaican.
But you can't tell people who for plant or who must purchase ganja from. Suppose somebody plant ganja.
They would set an industry among them because they do a lot of research.
Yeah, but him can't make but you tell him must make a law that if Rastas plant ganja and Bali plant ganja, they must purchase it from Rasta. That's what you say?
And I said, no man, Bali doesn't have access to plant it because
Bali must have access to plant ganja.
No.
Why not?
Not at all.
Then why to the people them who make the canasal thing for glaucoma and thing? No, Rasta never make none.
But originally, remember, said it is Rasta's research.
No, I don't want no Rasta research. I know. I say that you have a group of people who plant ganja and do some scientific research and make the thing for glaucoma and thing. And you say no, that people must not. The government must not allow people who is not Rasta to plant ganja.
1 zillion%, yeah. Because they would pollute it and corrupt it.
No, but I not agree with you, brethren. Because I don't hold it for Bali. I don't hold it for Bali with the plant ganja Westmoreland and never corrupt it. Hold it for Bali to plant ganja. When we used to live at St. James, when we used to live at St. James, you see? You have St. James Mountain, you have Hanover Mountain, you have Westmoreland Mountain. We know a whole heap of Bali used to plant ganja there. And Rasta used to go there go buy ganja from them. And them same ball, what?
Them a Rasta who have to trim because
which Rasta who have to trim?
Well, no.
Where you come from?
The police brother and the police
where you come from?
Below them.
Where you come from? Which part of the man come from? No, which part of Jamaica you come from?
I don't come from Jamaica, brother Muta. I come from Carmelite, Ivadne Barrett.
No.
And Clovis Charles Blake back. I don't come from nowhere in Jamaica. Jamaica is an organization set by the British.
All right, sir. Give thanks, yeah? Yes. At them ignorance, we can't take, Me can't take the ignorance in the night. You know, say, me not take no more call. Believe you me, because me go take the call early, and at that, me get up with Me never don't take no call, because me know you don't take the call so early, but me don't say, all right, make it go on since we are talking about ganja. You know me don't take on this call. Press the button. Me don't take on this call. Yes, EL.
Greetings there, Congo.
All right, blessed man.
Rastafari.
Isaac.
I want to start there for start,
Yeah?
Rebel Salute 2015.
Yes, wonderful.
Yes, wonderful. I listen there, I live plainly right smart. And give thanks for that.
Yes.
But I want to share an observation. Same Rebel Salute. Right smart, after in done go on with the band and stayed with him. Him still has the authority. He's Levi Smart, done that,
Him still what?
And I say it's Levi Smart that, and he done that. He's a veteran, and he still had the authoritative to just go and mail up the place and make the people them eat out their hand and sing with them. Why didn't do that?
Well,
we don't really understand how the dance flex over there.
Well, I will have people that try to figure it out too, but him have a reason. Him say the band supposed to know him tune them. Even them never go words with them, him say the band supposed to know him tune.
But what me saying now, Congo, separate from the band. Him knows him come do duty, man. The man they know the responsibility of being who they is. Should know the responsibility of being who they is right now. I'm separated apart from the band. We don't in about the band. And everyone here must run. But at the same time, just drop some acapella and the band the band is not the worst of band, man. The man them would have pick up. Because the man is a musician.
Yeah.
You should have just mail up the place, man. He disappoint the people.
Yeah, well, that's why I just play at slow. I'm tuning him a while ago, because you can't go against what you hear this, so you can't go against. It's what me just play a while ago. Nobody can boo that. Nobody can boo him just here a while ago, because that's a Leroy Smart. You understand? A Leroy Smart, that.
Yeah.
You understand?
We feel the energy, and we love that. But listen now.
Yes.
Concerning the herb now, why?
Yeah.
I Congo. Why is Viet hold the stand formation, And especially that stand formation about the imprisonment, because I serious when it comes to that, I go straight down in other islands, and that we stand for, The imprisonment thing, we totally against it,
Yes.
But why we have made stand formation there? You still have man who's supposed to be Rastafari, still are going court and still get charged, and still are going court and plead guilty.
Yeah, but it's what done,
Yeah, the guilty plea. Why is Babylon do whatever them do? I stand for a nation about what we know, what I know, and stop with it. Rasta no for going no court and plea, no guilty pan, no charge about the drug.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, well, I agree with you. No, it's not dangerous drug.
Of course not.
From him saying dangerous drug, you're supposed to say not guilty.
Of course, that it could be a split or ton. From the clerk of court say, John Brown, a Rasta, you was charged with a certain dangerous drug, cannabis. Done with that, not guilty. Whether it's a split or a ton.
All right.
You're going there with a V-carted, whatever.
You're the catch thing with them use that, so no. You're the catch thing,
Yeah.
Them say, the revised provision in the bill will see the exclusion of hemp from the definition of drugs. Of dangerous drugs. The exclusion of hemp, you know. Hemp is not a drug, you know. Hemp is not a danger. They're very easy, you know. Never exclude hemp from the definition of danger. Hemp is not a drug.
Of course not.
How are them people, man?
I'm mad people, them. And the thing about, me I even study Babylon, because Babylon is what it is, you know, doom, you know. And I defend it, you know. Our concern is the ones them who are using the herb and are not fully conscious of what they are doing. You should know, sir, from your use the herb, you should know, sir, you should know it and live it that you're not using any dangerous drug.
Yeah.
Know it. Know it. Don't believe, don't guess.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
and
sir.
that is our concern.
All right, son.
Prophet Yobayo, I more strength.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, man.
Aye.
Yes. Well, I go for I know something a while ago and I realize it's not the same computer I use, you know. So I have to go figure out something else now. I really have to go figure out something else because the program was set up of the other computer. Yeah, Caution Edge.
Yeah, good night, Muta.
Good. Jalan, how you doing, man?
I'm well, give thanks. I kind of wanted to return to the conversation about compensation.
Compensation, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's such a far-fetched conversation at several levels. The state and the world are now admitting that ganja is a positive plant and there are many positive effects that we can have for it. The way we are seeking to legislate it, they are pushing the medical, but at the same time, in giving us our sacramental access, they are also admitting that they accept that principle. Now, the imprisonment of persons who have cultivated herb, Rastafari persons. I remember there was an interview with a man on TV some years ago who spent years in prison because of herb cultivation and came out, you know, like maybe 20 years later. But he had a very commanding story as Rastafari in the prison system and his struggle with that. And there are many families that have gone through that where their, you know, breadwinners have been separated from them because of that. I think that there could be some kind of appeal to even the public defender, which is where that kind of thing probably would go, to review certain kinds of cases where Rastafarians who have always defended the assertion that this is a positive plant and that there are people who need it and have cultivated it from that perspective and have admitted all of those things and have been imprisoned, that there can be some, especially now with a framework that the government itself is trying to benefit from the cultivation of this. Easily, there could be a way of ensuring that whether by some levy or some, you know, portion of tax or some framework that speaks to people who have had their lives really seriously destroyed.
Let me ask that question. You know that most of the rest of them who get persecuted for herbs, really, a whole heap of them gone left way. A whole heap of the elders in the 50s and 60s will get mauled for ganja gone left way.
Yeah.
Right? All right. What farm, in at this time, you know, what farm you think this compensation should be in and who should it be given to?
All right. Okay, so it's two things, Muta. Even before we talk about compensation, I think that there needs to be some kind of apology to the community. The fact is that the government should admit its own ignorance and the way it legislated as being informed from that position of global ignorance. And therefore seek to level the playing field that they are hoping now to capitalize on by saying that we admit that we have wronged you in the way that we have been guided by international legislation, which are the same legislations that are now guiding us to legalize. It's not internal legislations.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that it would be big of the Jamaican government, particularly given the unique community that Rastafari represent globally, to make that a precedent. To come out and say that, in fact, many of our policymakers, even the former Prime Minister, virtually is saying that we are an embarrassment to ourselves in not being further than we are at this point.
That's a PJ policy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What I'm saying is that all of those...
He might talk back from the money part of it, you know. He might talk from the earning of money off it. He might talk about the Rastafari.
I mean, nobody's really representing that, which is why we have to. Because if we don't mind sharp, we're going to be left out completely of what is the future of this industry. What I'm saying is, if we claim a cultural right, which is now being highly commercialized, then that cultural right needs to be protected at one level. But they need to apologize for the wrong that they've done. Some years ago, Barry Evans wrote a paper about the way the local laws in Jamaica, responded to ganja. And what he concluded was that the way the law responds criminalizes the culture, Rastafari. So here it is, you have a spiritual culture, but just based on the national attitude and reaction of the law, you are already a criminal, because the first thing a police does when he stops me, you have any ganja? So, no, he says, you have any drugs? I say no. And then him think I don't understand, so him say, you have any ganja? Now, if I look differently, that would not be his first question. So the point is, it becomes the first target if you have the dreadlock image. Even for yourself who don't smoke herb, them automatically assume that ganja is a part of it. So once you have ganja in the position that you do, every Rastafari is a criminal because it's illegal. So what I'm trying to say is that some of the restoration of all of that precedent has to take place because you smoke ganja as Rasta, you are mad and a criminal. And those are two labels that they have to work hard at removing. And it's not us alone that is responsible for that.
All right. Ms. Silva asked a question, you know.
About the persons who gone, who were persecuted.
What farm apology would not be enough. So,
no.
All right. So if them apologize, now we are dealing with restitution of restoration of people's sanity, people, finance, people life. What farm and who should be given that compensation? What farm?
Well, okay,
the compensation should be?
Muta, the government is going to be central to the future industry, right? So whatever way they choose to regulate it, they have control over the income and earnings, right? The Rastafari community is fairly identifiable. And I'm saying that if you want to take it historically, meaning going back to people who dead and gone and their family, or presently, there's a community that can benefit from some kind of percentage that is directed from the future income that will come from this. So the issue of how and what form, money is clearly a way that is going to come into being because of the industry. So money is a clear thing. But the brethren who spoke before was talking about a kind of entitlement that Rastafari would hold.
No, he must say that Rasta should plant the herbs and then the government should buy the herbs, or whosoever should buy the herbs from God. Rasta means that nobody else.
The principle he might try to defend is that we should be entitled.
No, we know if you're entitled, but we say now that nobody else shouldn't be allowed to plant. No ballad shouldn't be allowed to plant.
It's not rational. Because presently the industry is dominated by ballad.
Yeah, but I remember saying a whole heap of ballad used to plant some serious herb where Rasta used to buy from.
And still do Muta. Most of the herb we smoke is ballad plants.
Yeah. So I say that to me, I couldn't really entertain the reasoning there. But we want to entertain the reasoning we say compensation.
Yeah.
Because we hear that go all over the place all the while, you know, compensation. We can't see compensation for Coral Garden because a lot of the people them who was get bad treatment in a Coral Garden still there and still I suffer with certain things. The ganja thing now is a thing because Rasta over the years has been persecuted for ganja. But in terms of I try to figure out if money come now, all right, we have some money now, government are going to give out money, I get a percentage of, I don't know if that...
But Muta, historically, you know, they have court cases where people who have died, their estate or them, you know, living relatives have been compensated. The real burden would be in demonstrating that these persons are worthy of that. And I'm saying that there are enough criminal cases. In fact, the same book by Henry Lowe has a few cases cited. He have a 2013 book where I can't remember the exact author. Cites about 4 or 5 different cases where various Rastafari are really injuriously affected by the criminal system. And what I'm saying is you don't have to compensate everyone, but a precedent at least should be set where the clear cases of gross human rights violation and discrimination, and more so retrospectively based on what we are now saying that this is a good thing and this is financially beneficial. These persons, especially if they're around, you know, that would be my concern. If the apology is given, then you kind of cover those that you have injured who have died, potentially, even though it's not. But there are many people who are still with us who could seriously benefit. And you could do it at various different levels. From Chevan's recommendation in 2001 could be a benchmark that the national intelligence was well advised repeatedly, including that last one. Sorry?
Continuously.
But what I'm saying is by 2000 when Chevan's did his report, America and all of those countries were galloping ahead. So the point is that you can say that you were inconsistent with global trends from this point and continue to criminalize this culture that consistently defended this herb.
Yeah.
But it is based on our strength of organization and the kind of representation that we get. But precedent is what law is based on, you know, and the ability to demonstrate your case. But I certainly think that our community should be entitled to some kind of restorative justice. That's what it really is called. Because now you're saying that this is okay, and you should just... In fact, Rasta shouldn't be at the table now, because you too ideological. Let the business people take over.
Well, that is really why I say that, look, you know, over the years, this thing is supposed to be this terrible thing, and look, you know, so just a stroke of a pen make the thing right.
But no, Muta, you see, when you start the program and you say that, it's today I'm thinking about polite violence, you know. Because somebody called me to tell me that Chris Blackwell is about to give some lecture about growing ganja, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the grossest polite violence. Because what you're trying to tell me is that you need certain kinds of people to now tell you that this is okay, for you to tell me that this is okay?
For me.
For me. When is that me I say all the time?
A polite violence, of course.
Yeah, man, it's the same thing with reparations. They know that they have done you a wrong. And them have all of the academics and lawyers scurrying around to spend more money in order to prove the wrong that them already know.
Yeah, but all right, I don't know if it's a mistaken print this, you know, but here it says so. The revised provisions in the bill will see the exclusion of hemp from the definition of dangerous drug. Hemp was defined as a dangerous drugs in Jamaica?
Well, maybe what they mean is that, because remember that hemp is the class, you know, and then you have the various... Yeah,
but hemp are not... all right,
yeah,
ganja
hemp is considered as the industrial sort of...
Yeah, me never noticed that was a dangerous drug. Nobody smoke hemp.
Well,
nobody use hemp to get high.
Here.
Eh?
No hemp-related plant has been cultivated here. In fact, that's what the Europeans...
Yeah, me know, but when I say in America, hemp was used before this argument about legalized ganja in Colorado and California and them places. But We heard from Yaga America, clothes now make man this and that. Me never know say was a dangerous drug. Me
But
just know that, you know.
loophole that the Europeans them use, because when them even producing the seeds and all of
Yeah.
that, the claim is that it's hemp, them growing.
But I swear to you, Jalani, tonight is the first time.
You knew that hemp was dangerous.
I know, no, tonight the first night I know that hemp was defined as a dangerous drug. I never know that.
Well, I don't think I see the name hemp named in the dangerous drug.
But that is say so. It say, in addition, the revised provisions in the bill will see the exclusion of hemp from the definition of dangerous drugs.
See.
That means that them did that in the provision of the bill. Them used to define hemp as a dangerous drug. How the hell them get hemp to be a dangerous drug?
Well, it's a political thing that.
I mean, people used to make, you know what time you come to airport with hemp oil, hemp seed oil, hemp candy, hemp clothes, hemp bag. They go at some festival in America, appear hemp clothes, everybody has sell, and that was before the upsurge of legalized ganja.
But you know, Muta, what I am discovering is that we Jamaicans kind of globalized ganja smoking.
Yeah.
I didn't know that enough from as early as the 1900s when we started to go to Panama and Central America. We used to export ganja from here to those places, to the people who were the migrant workers. That's how the basic regional trade started, apparently.
But I was told that I don't want to say the council that part of the problem with Bustamante and
2 words.
And Leonard Oil
was ganja production.
Was the ganja production thing, and the big money where they make outside from different parts of the countries.
Let me tell you what the under the table word is. Plano's account is that Leonard Howell had a productive ganja trade with the UK.
Yes.
And this was fairly explicit, meaning that they wasn't watching it as anything because they didn't know it that well.
Yes, yeah.
Right? But by the time the war ended now,
yes, everybody started.
Howell had become too big and too established. So it's really in containing Howell that the ganja production had to be destroyed. And then his own sort of demigod status had to be shaken down, you know.
Yes.
So, but the thing is that even at that time, ganja now started to go more so in the UK because we started to migrate after the war a lot.
To UK? Instead of America. Yeah, we want to go UK more than America.
So everywhere we went now, the ganja also went with us. And likewise, we spread it around because, you know, Jamaican aesthetic has been well appreciated by people, you know, and the trends that Jamaicans take on.
Yeah.
Reggae music eventually made
I don't know, you know, but the flower power hippie movements and Negril that come from, you know.
Okay, well,
yes,
I didn't know it came from Negril.
The loose ear, the one love, my brother, love my sister, flower power, peace and love and all this thing. It transported through the rock artists them who used to go on Negril and go in California and become what them call hippie movement.
Okay.
It's really a kind of mask of Rastafari, but them couldn't hold on the Haile Selassie and the Rastafari culture. So them hold on to them like one love thing and garden and some ecstasy and all sorts of drugs.
But why you say? Because in some way, what I thought is that it emerged simultaneous. But you're saying that our thing was a
Negril direct the course of them event, the man. Negril was the utopia for white people, young white rock artists, rock band. You name them. Them used to come on Negril.
So you're talking mid-60s onwards?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, mid-60s coming on. At Jamaica, I don't have Negril, all of them things they flourish. That's why check how much of them rock artists they used to go on Negril. Check all of them. Rolling Stones, man, them. I mean, you name the top notch. Really? Hey, I will if things go on to Negril, I want to do it.
But me check the Negril more or less came in the scene in the 70s. But before it was discovered.
With 70s. Oh, yes, man. Negril was a little unknown Utopia. The same things. Oh, yes, man. Negril was a little unknown Utopia by Jamaicans, you know.
You mean like your Treasure Beach?
It's like our Treasure Beach. So, all right.
Yeah.
So Treasure Beach low key, I know it get like you should set up some big storage hotel along there. You know? There was a time when Negril appeared bamboo shack.
Yeah, man, I remember
tent,
that.
a bamboo shack and tent upon the beach, you know. Not big hotel never. Hey, we are going to Negril from before. It's in 7 miles of White Sand Beach, eh? He didn't hardly have any hotel there on the beach, so, you know.
Yeah, man, even up until 80s, it was fairly.
Yes, It was like the center of. It's like how people that talk about Hawaii.
I guess it's like the real hedonism.
Yes. People come on Negril Beach and naked. White people are up and down naked and just feel free and gone in them ecstasy and them mushroom tea and them mushroom this and then the Rastafari bridging them down there and everybody talk about ganja and one love, one heart. Let's get together and be all right and peace and love and natural food and freedom and that. Watch your man, that Ghana, California, you know.
So the flower power is really the ganja.
No, flower power business, man. They don't come and flower power never there America, Rasta. And Negril, trust me, man, and Negril.
Yeah, man, I go and dig into that one.
And Negril give rise to a whole heap of them things the way you say. In America there. And then now the ganja become what the mainstay because it was so free down on Negril. Westmoreland, everybody, when you talk about ganja, you have to talk about Westmoreland, you know. There's nowhere in the world that a man said Jamaica ganja and him not say Orange Hill, Westmoreland. Nowhere. That means, you see when the man used to come here, so, and them see the freedom of Rasta use or Rasta smoke ganja, that get them high, you know, even if them not smoke it, you know. And them Ghana, America with that, you know, say, well, you know, these free people with them long ears stretch gone over the sun. You know, them just saying that some one
yeah, man,
love.
we amaze them.
Yeah, man, them not export that and carry Ghana foreign, man. And now we know if you fight for something where we did that. It's like reggae music. It's the same like reggae music, you know. At Jamaica, reggae music start, you know. Then who have Jamaica music? The same white people, them picnic. And the white people, them hippie white people, them picnic, will turn yuppie, come now, say them a Rasta, we have reggae music now, pan the reggae charts them in America, and a tour more than Jamaican artists, you know. And the same picnic them, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
And the picnic, after the picnic them, who you see in the 60s, who they love Jamaica, them picnic go have picnic now. And at them now take up the reggae again, you know. And a new thing are going, you know.
Globally is what you're saying?
Yeah, man, and a new thing are going. And a new youth them, you know. Trace them picnic there, picnic, and see which part them picnic they did there. Them mother and them father did there.
Muta, before you tell me say you have to go though.
Me just tell you that, you know before me tell you that.
Because I figure say you talk long and break and money making and those things might factor. But
I don't, man.
I want to share something with your listeners which I think they might be interested in. We've been trying to organize the urban chalice and ganja persons, people who not only into it as a business but people into it recreationally. And we're doing this in a sort of advocacy but celebration at the same time of the, more than smoking effects of herb. We have a function coming up on Saturday, the 24th of January at Long Lane, 23 Long Lane. A brethren is hosting a herb.
You know, so I see that idea?
Yeah, man.
I see that idea, man. I used to run the bulldozer there.
Yeah, man. Same Ras Bobby, Earth Strong, and it's a thing that he has been doing for over 12 years.
Right, that's all?
Yeah, man.
Then I'm come on my yard all well and never tell me about it yet.
Well, in figure say you're not a major chalice man or herb man in that sense.
But I mean, I advocate for this thing so long. I mean, that's a major man.
Well, it's not, but you plan to be there. Because it's not the same weekend as jazz.
No, me never have planned. We the word on them. Me never have planned for nothing, me say. The man there, he said 12 years him a do it, you know. Me know him less than 12 years, you know. The man there come and bulldoze a whole portion of land in front of my yard there. And he pass there regular to go get film liquor draw and thing. And he never tell me, say, him a keep the stuff for 12 years. He never tell me that yet.
Well, he probably never figure say
because he's not a ganja man. Because he's not a ganja man.
You're not a ganja smoker. The smokers, them don't partial to the people who...
No, it's not that. You can't be a ganja man unless you smoke it, and that a man has tried to make
That's how people feel, yeah.
No, well, me like that, you know. Me like that, you know, see.
But you stop eat ganja.
Because we go a jail more than one time for ganja already.
Right. But you have your credibility.
We have a credential.
You need compensation, Muta. Because them now going to tarnish your character, you know, more. But one wants to know about that function on Saturday evening, right?
Yeah.
Anytime after 6 o'clock gate. So.
Tell me exactly how which part. Part Long Lane. Tell me exactly. Manor Park. You left Manor Park and you come up the road now. Which part?
Yeah, man. It's that Long Hill before you make the deep bend to go up into Stony Hill proper.
You mean Red Gal Ring?
Muta, you asked me about things.
No, but if you're direct about before you're going to Stony Hill proper.
You don't know that long road after you come out.
No, Long Lane, man.
Yeah, Long Lane.
Yeah, but me I tell you, say, but you don't mention Stony Hill, and me I say Red Gal Ring. Red Gal Ring is a deep corner where you go around the corner like you carry one road back.
I know the name, but I didn't know that's where them car Red.
Yeah, you have some jerk thing go on there, so a home there.
A big corner.
Peyton place used to there, so and them where they were married to one used to play. You go around the corner there, so now, where you do know? Which part around there so you go? Because one road go up there now.
Yeah, man, you can't miss it. It's 23 Long Lane. You got to see the car, them line out.
Oh, so you have to come, so don't come early in the night, feel to the car, you're not going to know where.
No, but you will see the car because the major activity on that road.
Okay.
But if one's
how much o'clock it start?
It starts from 6 o'clock. There's going to be, conversations about advocacy and herbal promotion.
6 o'clock at the day or 6 o'clock at night?
6 o'clock at night, man.
Okay, all right. So, me what come in?
Always, Armageddon Sound.
Okay.
We have artists like Sizzler.
Okay.
What's his name?
It's not like you're one of the promoters, you know.
Well, it is a part of DAPA, and I'm a part of that association.
A part of where?
DAPA.
DAPA?
Decriminalization, advocacy, and public awareness. We're talking about herbs.
Okay, so you're going to have the man from the Negri up there, so?
Yeah, man. It's all
IRV, the man, and Tuba and all them
who are in promotion of herbs as a therapeutic and medicinal thing right across the land. It's an open invitation. Because the stronger we are, is the more we can get.
Saturday, you say?
Saturday.
I will be there, sir.
Long Lane, Stony Hill, yeah, man. Give thanks.
I will be there.
All right, my brother.
All right, give thanks, yeah?
Yeah, man. Highly.
Yes. Okay, so, say, this is will be the contention over a long period of time until it is signed off, because it is not signed off yet, Every now and then them just prep so with something, for make you feel nice. So them prep so with something make you feel nice. So it's not actually signed off yet, but it is getting there. And then we will see, well, so Rasta never, you go a bingy, Rasta never yet, I talk about them now smoking herbs because police are coming there and I'm smoking herbs said we, then I see it. But I remember the days when policemen used to come in a bingy, come draw out, man. I remember those days, I remember those days when policemen used to kick over a ital pot and push things in the pot and store it and ask them, Rasta, don't have any gun in the pot, yeah? Why, better people are easy, You have two little youth named Ruffy and Tuffy, A bingy keeper St. Thomas one time, out at Sunrise, when them call the place again, Sunny Hill. And we in at the bingy, I just want to look down the road and police like rubbish, You see me and the little youth them. That's why they little, Ruffy and Tuffy, them also they are foreigner, Me and the little youth them, have to take for your cane piece, You have to look down through there like slave. Me I tell you when me think about them things, them it's long on my yard and just, It's like, it makes us feel cool in our Rasta. When we remember how me and the youth them are run through the KNPs like slave. When the police come in at the bingy and take all stick and put in at the pot of ital food where the bridge them are cooking up. And I talk about Rasta don't have any gun in here. And you know, say Rasta now eat that again, you know, that the part they don't condemn and throw away. And start hold on upon the Rasta them, you know, that it's when me and the youth them see that through the KNPs we are running, you know, and all me I think upon them, I say such slave used to run through KNPs, you know. Me I live out that in my lifetime, yeah. When them lock up the rats them for the herbs and say, yes, they see the ganja, yeah man. And that's not a little thing compared to when me know, say, the elder them did have got through in the 50s. In the 50s when me know a brethren, I mean I call him name, me know a big singer brethren, you know, where them take buckle and cut off the man locks, you know. Buckle, them take and cut off him locks. And you have Jamaican people who run down rats and cut off them locks, you know. Me remember me have got through Spanish Town already, you know. And one woman stand up her gate with some picnic and calling the picnic them, say, come in here, see the rats man a come. Me sit down in a pen overland transport a go to my yard at Spanish Town. Me sit down in a bus. And little picnic sit down with him mother and him there the window side. And him put him on out, them don't know how picnic love catch breeze. When them sit on the side window, them put them on out, they feel catch the breeze. And the woman turn around to the little picnic and say, take in here before make the Rasta man chop it off. Terrible thing. Me I walk go up on my yard already, a bush a potato, you know, so little picnic see me and I say, Lord, the Rasta man I come and boof, they run through the banana walk. And that's just the other day. So if me did I go through all of that, you can just imagine in the 50s, in the early 60s, them days the rats have to take for hey, man, you talk about compensation, Rasta. And now me see some youth a walk on the place and out to them a Rasta, you know. And I go at them and take the thing for joke, you know. With them pants down at them bottom, tight up pants, shave off this ear edge, I mean, and some weird them a go on, you know. Like them don't realize the struggle and the pain and the agony will bring it to this, that's all. It's a serious thing. And now we see men and people come say, bam, look at now, all right. But I was tired to discriminate against you. It's like a apartheid. It's like apartheid when ANC and all of the man, the PAC fight. And when them say the thing I get rough now, them say, boy, you know, say, we have to go really do something different. Yeah, man. It's like the struggles of our ancestors have to be the same struggle where we have to go through the same way. That's why sometimes it pain me, man. Pain me how I see the thing around, how the thing go. When we see how the music all make certain turn, and man all sing some glorious thing, but when you look on where him a go out without there, like him a hold up Babylon wall, like him a put cement in the wall. We make you put cement in the wall. You know, you say round the wall of Jericho, the army went, and same time the people shout and the wall fall down. It's like a man a blow the trumpet and a shout. And him shouting and the trumpet come like cement. We must cement up Babylon wall. Him no want it fall. But may I tell you, man, good. You see a thing named good, however you want to perceive good to be, believe you me, is good. I'm going to work out this thing here. That's all when million people realize a long after, you know, because the spell of buying it, you know. A long after, I'm going to realize, but right that this we do. But it's too late already. Dig out the concrete out of the wall. Dig out the cement out of the wall. We're going to make we dig out the cement out of the wall. Because we can't make the thing go. And we there still. That's one of you keep fight the same fight over and over and over and over. A madness that. Look how long we're on the radio. 20 years we're on the radio to the same thing. And we're going to keep saying the same thing over. Last week, I played a tape. And I played that tape almost about 5 times since Cutting Edge on the radio. And last week, I played the tape. And it come like, at the first I play the tape, the amount of feedback I get, it's like the first, at the first, I play the tape on the program. And the same thing with the other one before. What would they play before too? That me I said, but wait, enough time I play them tape up on the radio, it come like say, if every week I play the same tape, me will get the same same reaction. Why I tell you? Yes, step in, Cutting Edge. Sure. I thought 6 o'clock that's true there. Alright, Cutting Edge. Ian.
Yes, class, yeah, the first. What about how you do?
There, man.
Yeah, man. Well, they don't know, you know, once it come on to any form of vibration at the cutting edge, it's about to African theme point.
Okay.
See in a wagwan. No, what more I say no motor. The vibration of pass with the herbs. You know, currently, presently now, the man them who is convicted and who that jail and who that prison and who now have them date of a court to be prosecuted for herbs like for a spliff or for amount where they made a pass. Yeah. Like how it passed to the now. What into the
wait there. Them not sign up. It will sign up on, you know. Them will deal with it tomorrow. So
that means any man who that jail and prison likes if you are split out, so they are free.
Them will let him go, but not today, you know.
Not today. It's a good look.
Yeah, it's
right. One move on, because you mean a whole long and thing. Here we are saying no motor. Like how now pass, we can come to a conclusion and say, okay, it's legalized. What we say about that?
No, Bridget, you know, listen to what I'm reading on. No, ganja will not be legalized.
In Jamaica?
No, it's not a legalization taking place here, you know.
Okay.
It's a decriminalization.
Yes, all right. Yeah,
legalization different from decriminalize, you know.
All right.
Wait, let me explain something about decriminalize. You see, like, a man used so them find you with that spliff and you go to jail and them take your fingerprints.
Yeah.
And that is a
criminal. You not go for your criminal record.
No, because that means, you know, when you go to embassy, them not tell you, say, boy, you have a criminal record because them will owe you for ganja.
Yeah, man, all of us that.
Yeah, so now within the ticketing, if you're smoking herbs in a public place, then why give you a ticket? That means you have to go pay the ticket like how you have to pay a traffic fine.
Yeah, more understand that. You more, you think that it is a step for that the government, you know, it is a step in the eyes of the nation of Jamaica that weed are going to be legalized one day, like how them decriminalize.
I feel
that your own.
Yeah, man. I feel that they're going to legalize it. It's
all right, because we all know that weed legalized in Holland and certain part of Canada, and even certain part of America. So I mean,
Uruguay, Colorado, and all them.
So that means it's a step. All right. The next thing more I have to say to you. Suppose you see you're there on tour. And you have your personal bands. Say you're there on a show. You have your personal bands. Motor.
No, wait, say you're there in England or what?
No, me I say you Mutabaruka.
Yeah.
Suppose you have a tour and you go do one of the show them in London and you have your own bands. See?
Yeah.
But you go do Rebel Salute. But it's like, you know, it's a different band you have a perform on a Rebel Salute. It is okay for Mutabaruka send him album or the tracks them where I'm going to use. I say, bandsman, I want you rehearse that set of tune here for me, that 12 tune here for me. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And the band's supposed to follow procedure and order and rehearse the song them for Mutabaruka because you're coming at the show, don't.
Yeah, if you send the tune then.
And in your knowledge, you know that there is many artists that do that. Send the track to the bands and them rehearse the set for the artist because maybe man a different gig or maybe in Thailand. And it works, don't?
Yeah.
So, me talk this now specifically for Mr. Leroy Smart. I want all of the people.
No, you can't live out the Dan. Hello, you can't live out the Dan. Him say you must live out the Dan.
The dance of all.
Leroy Dan.
Him like when you say, the dance of all.
Him said, don't live out the Dan. I'm going to box in your face to live out the Dan. Don't live out the Dan.
No. Him not go box me in my face because everybody says, Sabatooth, Leroy Smart, I'm father, I'm a favor.
So where you say
when the officer now, when the officer too, when I hear the feedback that coming from Rebel Salute and like the caller that called in earlier, I want everyone just use simplicity. And no say, alright, you listen me? The dance of all dance, Leroy Smart. Every show him work on, him shell it down, meaning that him shell it up. Him please him audience. So you see, that situation that took place at Rebel Salute, me kind of come to about 90% conclusion that
you didn't
no, I wasn't there, but I heard that the Dance of All Dan send his set to be rehearsed by the bands. He never come individual. So me come to my conclusion. I said then if the bands never back the Dan, that means them never rehearse the song them. What is about that?
Yeah.
All right.
Them never rehearse. We know all If him did send the song them,
yeah,
and them never rehearse the song them,
yeah, then could back him good, and I don't go
back him good. I don't know where go on, and I tell you where you are saying. If him did send a CD with the song them,
yeah,
and them never rehearse the song them,
yeah,
that's terrible.
That's very terrible. Now look here now, all of the bandsmen them will listen who that back down or somebody go tell them. So I'm not beating no down or burning no out. All my just say it's not the Leroy Smart as the only artist that send him tracks and make bands rehearse it. Enough artists do it. Dennis Brown,
everybody do that.
Enough man do it.
Everybody do that.
Everybody do that. So now, me just I use leniency on the dance side to inform them, local and international, who never feel pleased of the Dan of all Dan performance. Use simplicity with him and don't beat him down for that because the Dan and the Dan always give
Hold on. Listen to our guy, so now.
Yeah.
All right. A man can't don't rehearse your song them. And you behave away upon the stage, you know. But you see the continuous vibes towards the band and in front of the people them, people them don't take kindly to that. So even alright, the band can never rehearse him through them and make him show sound away, you know.
So
yeah, but you see the continuous licking against the band.
Yeah.
The people them at the audience don't business about whether you and band never rehearse and that. Them don't want to hear that, you know.
Them don't want to hear that. Me and that, that.
So them a look at it, you know. Them a look, wait now, man. Them a look at it from a different perspective from you.
Now, chances are you've seen videos that ask you the same
Alright, you see me, it's when we started doing this a while ago.
Did they try to sell you something? Did they ask for a tiny investment or a small pitch-in fee? Or try to
Leroy
get you with
Smart
a nominal
potential.
monthly
I know that
and
it is an
always
excellent
today only.
performer.
Yeah, I mean, also
You know how
know
long that
say,
page has been up?
if you go up on the stage and a band or rehearse you tune them and you behave like how him behave, It have a serious repercussions with you and the way it named.
Overs that. Stick up in the now, motor. Overs that. Now, listen this now. All of the listeners, them always listening locally and internationally. I Sabatooth, I say to you personally, especially the fans them that come out to see Leroy Smart and the rest of artists who feel like the Dan never given up that good performance to pertaining to the band and pertaining to what took place after the band wasn't backing him properly. Now, me ask you know, use simplicity upon him. You know why? Me ask some fans now. Forgive him for what had happened because it could.
No, but are you that gun in a virgin? That gun, are you like that? But you never even did that. But you never even did that.
Calling earlier, and he was saying certain farmer thing, you know, pertaining.
Yeah, but we're not done to give him already virgin, but you know, we don't.
Alright, skip the paycheck.
Wait, Sabatooth.
Yeah.
You talk about something like you did. Listen to me, I say now.
Yeah.
You say if Leroy Smart would do a next show, and I wait no man, and him go to the rehearsal and do whatever I'm supposed to do, and the band do what them supposed to do, the people them now go remember nothing but no Rebel Salute.
Alright, so it's a good look.
That's what Jamaican people say. You say at the moment, at that time, the audience never like where I go on. You see, tomorrow, if a big, if some fest and Leroy Smart upon some fest, nobody now going to say, what you know, what we going to do now, you know. They might listen now for hear the tune, that's why I play the tune them. That's why I play the tune them, you know, because everybody knows that Leroy Smart our big artist. So that is a moment in time where soon did happen. But we can move on from that now. You're making it sound like it's $1 million.
That me I say, we can move on now. So then, everything good. It's just a little vibration that took place. And the world know that you're an excellent performance.
Yeah, man.
Skip a page now, Mota. I would like to say to the world, if Rasta who are brutalized and been hated from then. You see, even presently, today, it is happening right in our eyes, see them here. It's just so them now call we no more black heart man, and them now run down Rasta. The people them I talk to, you know, like your next door neighbor, now run down Rasta and cut off Rasta locks with million or sardines and our glass bucket. See, when they treat Rasta wicked, they treat Rasta wicked strategically by not even cutting off locks. Alright, for instance, many a times I touch certain point, but when I touch the point, like you say, boy, Saba, you know, you put yourself in everywhere. But
I know you're going to put in yourself. I know you're going to put in yourself.
Because True Saba now is a Rasta man. Yeah. Them strategically sabotaging Saba. It's like them a try to say, no, you know hear what them do.
Who is them?
Them go on YouTube. Them because they don't know specifically who doing it.
No, but so like them is the name of a person.
Alright. For now, we are going to put them as the name of a person. But we are going to put the name of a person as an individual. Like we have to say, Mutabaruka is them. Yeah. See? So we're going to burn them strategically, like how them a fight with strategically. Listen this now, Mota. Sabatooth is an artist. You see on YouTube, Mota, somebody go on YouTube and delete all of my old tunes. That me do for like some of my tunes I do for Bobby Digital, King Jammins, John, Sly Arabian, and Steely and Cleavy. And this is strategically. Now we have this mad youth named Gaza Bab. In rinse out the whole of my mixing now. Now we are going to put them as the name of a person. But we are going to put the name of a person as an individual. Like we have to say, Mutabaruka is them. Yeah. See? So we're going to burn them strategically, like how them a fight with strategically. Listen this now, Mota. Sabatooth is an artist. You see on YouTube, Mota, somebody go on YouTube and delete all of my old tunes. That me do for like some of my tunes I do for Bobby Digital, King Jammins, John, Sly Arabian, and Steely and Cleavy. And this is strategically. Now we have this mad youth named Gaza Bab. him rinse out the whole of my music, them. How you check him out anytime you're done, or you listen to them after the program, you can go on YouTube and check
no, man. No, yeah. Who you say I rinse out the tune then?
Why you name Gaza Bap? Him a try contest the Bap. In a clash thing right now. Him on YouTube singing out all the Sabatooth music, them.
So you don't read the whole line. You tune them no copyright.
Yes, Mota, but me still my fans them and the public them know that it's Sabatooth music that.
Then you know if you take action against him if I
yeah, man. Everything in place, man. Them soon they sign up from about 93, 92 with PRS and all of
it. Me not say they sign up with them. Me say if you feel so strongly about it. You should take action about it instead of
man. Me just make you and the nation of Jamaica and the rest of nations around the world know taking place. Now what them trying to do? Them trying to like use a rubber and them are trying to rub out Sabatooth name out of history. It can't rub out because me know I tell the world that Dave Queen, Liquid, Sabatooth is the artist that hear these youth on the radio. Tell them come a town.
You know something You know something just hear you upon entertainment buzz. I said the same thing about.
No, I'm not specifically about this. We just show them.
No, but me can't talk. You just talk about where the ranks them, where them not talk about.
We're not go back this out. Different programs.
But every time you talk to you, but all of the artists them were bigger than you know. How come the artists them get bigger than you and you both all of them?
Because it is seem like them to know. I saw them fight Rasta.
No. You know you must know. You must check yourself.
Eh?
You must check yourself.
Yeah, man. Me do that long time. I do it right now.
Yeah, but you can't keep us saying, are you do that for the man there, are you do that, and the man they gone further than you, and you sit down on the corner and complain. You must check yourself. Yeah, but every time you come here, you just complain a while ago for which name the program.
Yeah, man, no.
You just complain for Kachima program, you know. I know you're complaining.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, but every time you talk to you, you're complaining about an artist where bust out then are you for
Anyway, that is not the point. I mean, don't want
the point is that you must check yourself. If everybody, if 100 people did they behind you and 100 of them gone in front of you, then you have to check yourself, brethren. You have to check yourself.
All right. You give me the clarity now. When I say me to check myself because they've gone in front of me.
Yeah.
Give me some clarification. What you mean by when I say me to check myself because all of them they're behind me and now them
hear what
in front of me. Yeah, give me the clarity now. Give me the clarity within that what you said a while ago.
Hear what I say now. May I give you more clarity than what I say. If you have 100 people that walk behind you, and you bring them up, and them gone in front of you.
Yeah.
That means you move away, you're slow, like you thought us on the rabbit, or you move too slow. You have to check yourself.
All right. Well, that is all Mutabaruka.
Yeah, so now you want the argument I got done now. The argument I got done now.
Ask me.
The argument I got done now because you're on the radio 20 minutes to talk about yourself.
No, that me tell you, me could move on because
yeah, but we're not gonna move on no more. Yeah, but we're not gonna move on no more.
Anyway, I love your motor.
Yeah, me love you too.
You're number one fan.
Me love you too, brother. Yeah.
Number one fan.
All right, sir. Me love you too. Yes. Wow, the man make me tired, Rasta. Sabatooth, you make me feel tired, Rasta. Let me go sleep. Believe you me. Wow, man, they have complain, patch up a complain. And all of them revolve round him. Sabatooth, you realize that all the complaint where you complain revolve round you. And the only reason why you bring up Leroy Smart a while ago because you like your situation to Leroy Smart. Leroy Smart do a next show here right now. And him and the band connect. The place match long. Because there's no week when me play. Me no play a Leroy Smart tune. No week. I'm going to tell him that the other night. Mr. Leroy, if you come down a 5 a young one night, there's no night that a Leroy Smart tune no play. No night. Because we know potential. We know Leroy potential. So it's just a moment in time. Like when Luciana kick him foot and him suits fly off him foot. You know, it's a moment in time. Everybody have these moments in time. Everybody have these moments in time. Some people have some serious moments in time and forget words. They are Germany with my band already and we are perform and me forget the words to the poem. And every time I say, come again, we keep forgetting the words to the poem. And it's just through the artists don't know where I go on because me and the band connect so much that me I make mistake and the band knows a mistake me I make. And everybody on the stage knows a mistake me I make. But the artists don't know a mistake me I make. So that is one of the coincidences where you find work certain time. But, you know, sometimes you find yourself in a situation where you feel weird. You hear a band play something wrong, totally wrong. The artists don't know say them play something wrong. But you know say them play something wrong. The problem is that when you stop and start to complain, say them playing something wrong. The problem is when you stop and start complaining, say the band play something wrong. Then you have the aggravation of the artists or what you know. We say, sure, however I deal with. But Leroy Smart a good artist. Leroy Smart a good artist. No matter what, it's just a moment in time that, believe you me, that total, it's one of them moments in time where, as an artist, you don't want to happen again.
Yeah, Muta.
Yeah, blessed man.
My respect, sir. Come a long way from one Oxford Road days.
May I tell you?
The basket with the Ital and far, man, long way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. If a man don't know one C going on, I don't man don't know. So one C was like a community of artists gathered there. So.
Yes, man.
From
Pablo Moses.
Micron, where name they used to have him, Talent Corporation there.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. A whole of people don't even know that you are there. I see, you know, say, ATL control a place, you know, where them name again, Bush Stewart.
Yeah, man. Sell all kind of top vehicle and all.
Yeah. That was the center of attraction.
Yeah.
Jacob Miller and all them, man, the Bonnie Wheeler, everybody flock around.
Yeah, Pablo Moses, Augustus, Pablo.
Yeah, man, everybody, man.
Jeep, man, and Kidio side. I used to get up, man.
We used to sell fruits on there. We used to sell me little fruit them around there.
Yeah, you know.
Little banana, apple, and peanuts and all them something there. Yeah, man.
See. But you I call that about, you know, I man have an issue with the Rebel Salute thing there, as far as no vending. Because you know, say, there's a very high percentage of people in Jamaica here where make a livelihood from doing them like a vending. And the Rasta man was always among the downtrodden and among the poorer class of people. You know what I mean? And basically, everywhere event there you find so well, the little man gotta go doing the thing and make a livelihood and things like that. And Rasta man, you know, Tony Rebel, you know, exclude all them little people there, and it's like 2 miles away. You know, see, you find so well no vending side and police and all them kind of something there. So, you know, see, I don't know how them thing really set up still, but
I'm going to put it to you now. I'm going to put it to something to you now. And tell me if you see any logic to that is now. All right. Suppose you're a man where I sell Ital soup, and you set up your thing near the gate where the people are coming in, and a man pay $20,000 to get a tent in there to sell Ital soup. What do you think of that, Mr. now?
Same thing as a flap, and the money go down the drain.
Yeah, so it's protect. Sometimes it's protect the man from inside where I sell the same goods where you are sell outside the road where you now pay nothing for selling.
Right.
You have protect the man inside where they don't pay him $10,000-$20 for sell the same thing where you are sell outside for nothing. I'm more than likely you are selling cheaper than him out there. So if you didn't name, just walk out, they go buy it and come back. So I don't know how you see that.
Point well taken, man, and a logical talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, you can't dispute that.
So it's you have certain shows where when you look and promoters don't like it, you know, but you can't stop it still, you know. You have certain shows where you go there, you know, where you look outside, you know. The amount of vendor were outside, you know, more than people them inside will pay money for vend inside, you know. Trust me, man.
True that.
Cane man, can man, black up man, curry goat man, jerk chicken man. I mean, crown and anchor man, peanut man, all sorts of man there at the gate. And him not pay nothing more than him just sell. And if I want something, and him I say, boy, you sell that for this social so when me can go outside go buy it for cheap. Him just walk out there go buy it. So me don't know.
That's true, man. That's true. It's somewhat out of control.
Yeah, man, you can't control Jamaica when them want hustle money, you know. Watch out, me go down at the hotel down at a while ago, right? Me never know to them a build up another wing down I would big hotel down at Sunny again. Anyway, when me look over the fence, you know, Rasta, sell a like worries in the middle of the night, and look like them a work all of the night, you know, me I tell you, say. Most of them are selling the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of them are selling the same thing. So you can't, all right, you ever know this, you see on a roadside, and a man come up there and him set up a little stall, and him start sell certain things. Next month you see a little man come beside him and sell certain things. The next month you come and you say, man like worry sell certain things. Like you say what we or one man it started a car and they had no, and they see them start war now. The same man them start war now because them say them 40 then so I sell. And you come here to now come and cut into for them thing and yeah. Some of them are selling the same thing too.
Yeah.
It's like they wore them up a Braemar Avenue there so. And yeah, you believe I joke, you know, long some of them wore it there.
Yeah.
And then a guy just come down and screech around the corner like him want to come take away the war business. And a long time them there, and them begs. A big fight go on over there. So fight go on over there, you know, see. So it's a thing of the capitals. I know the capitals are run and the capital not too much for go round. It not have enough for go round. So if you pay a big money for go do something and another man come around there so and I do the same something and him not pay no money, it kind of unfair to the man who did pay still. Trust
That's true, man. I respect them talk the motor. Yeah. That's why the people them love you.
All right, we have to move on. The time gone.
Yeah, man. Rasta, one love, yeah?
3 minutes past 12.
Blessed. Respect on my boss.
Good times, man.
You know, me touch a point a while ago, you know.
Oh,
With the vending thing there, you know. A reality, you know. Yeah, man. Because the people that run a bag walk there, you see? You see the first vendor they go across. Yeah, you know when we think about it. I do the past about a couple of years back in the mood and pre-war going, you know.
Yeah.
You see first vendor them when you come in from Yuatan way, going to Kingston.
Yeah, but we don't way at all.
When you cross the bridge, you see them the set of people did over that side before.
From them time there,
yeah. You know, so you have one next set of vendors, you know, for the left hand side of the street like that, at the rock. You know, so they might extend, you know, so the stall.
Go down. Them so reach inside of the guards.
Yeah, man, them I tell you, man, what they are pretty thing, you know, man. Yeah, man, you see all them the one over that side, when I talk, I rock the sell mango.
Yeah.
Them can't cross the bridge, you know.
No, you're mad. You are war start, man. Line draw, man, over here, some my territory, you can't come over here, some man.
About time, they are telling somebody to touch a valuable point. That what the you know, man, me top there, you know, man, I'm a pre-war go on. I'm telling you see all the next one, them, what they over the next side, you know, first one, them. You see them, one over here, so now, you see, if anyone, like any vehicle, stop cross over the next side, you know, the next one, them, we over here, so like them, that want to make a run off to go over there. So the next one, them over there, bend.
Yeah, oh, you mean them no must bend? If me did over them would have been so. You come over the territory.
Yeah,
but what you know? Check Jamaica right now. And look for that place where you usually see somebody has sell. You have certain places in Kingston where certain area where I just somebody used to do there and sell. All right. Remember when we used to go over the train line in Alinsi there so. About 2 man used to hold up jackfruit there, though.
Yeah, man.
I don't know why people used to do there sell jackfruit. You know, about 2 man used to hold up jackfruit there, though. And when apple time comes, you see 2 man hold up the apple time. Now check how much man line up on the road, and when you stop, when you come, you have to slow down to go over the train line, you know.
Yeah.
When you slow down, you know, oh gosh, man roach you like joke. It's a weird thing now that the road gone the other side, or they have to go up on the main road.
A true, man. A real thing, man. Yo, most of me like a program still, but I tell a lie, big man. Trust me.
All right, sir.
Yeah,
sir.
man. Yeah, you know, so the ganja thing, we may talk about that, is it? Well, right now, when I pray that thing here, you know, election the near still, you know.
Oh, I mean, the near, very near, very near.
And I hope some of the Rasta them, you know, nobody come get chick, you know. Right now, I chick people, you know.
Well, I don't have a trick, but them are tickly out. Them are tickly for say, how them can maneuver this thing, yeah. So politicians run them thing, you know. Them not give something for nothing, you know. Politicians don't give nothing.
Long time, you know, man.
Yeah.
Long time, you joke this, you know, motor.
You never hear Bob Marley sing a tune. You know I'm going to play it? It's a tune named Revolution. Bob Marley said, don't trust a politician to grant you no favor because he will always want to control you forever.
Right now, me I tell you, say anytime election call, man, and if Bishop him part way in a power win back, man. Remember me tell you, man, you see him ganja thing, right down, they just lock it off again.
No, me not think them will lock it off. It's a legislation, you know. Them not gonna lock off us again, man. America open up, you know. America open up. Remember one time, when Bruce Golden said it is a very difficult situation we find ourselves in, like, given that we have some treaty with America. And I said, no, America open up. There's no way though America can't come tell we, you know, say we can't do certain thing because them open it up now, you know. So that's always them guys that get brave, you know. Them brave now because America they done. It's like, you know, them a lapdog, you know. Government a lapdog, yes, and them pull out them tongue and them tongue dribble with water because America now come say, watch out, Colorado, watch out, California, watch out. These are more than nearly 20 states now. Decriminalize the thing and gone straight with it now. So them a try to see how them can make some money and fight. Government a look money hard, you know. Government wants to see how the ganja thing can bubble with them here right now.
True.
So all them are dealing with is medical marijuana. You know, so that's all them are dealing until they say hemp a dangerous drug. I never know that from my band. I never know say hemp was a dangerous drug. It's classified as dangerous drug.
Mota.
Yes, sir.
Just big up yourself for your brethren and big up all I hear from.
All right, sir. Give thanks, man. Blessed. You know, say, Guineas are a red stripe beer. Who make the stout them? What are them? Anyway, them are going to plant cassava. Acres and acres of cassava for use it instead of barley. You know, them drink. Yes. So, them have a system, you know, where them are look for people who willing to put them land in a cassava cultivation. Because them have this thing where them are going, instead of them use the foreign malt, them are going to use cassava. Because them say it can have the same taste like the normal stouts or beer, whatsoever them use it make. But remember that tune, yeah? What's that tune? Yes. Continent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Muta.
Yes.
Muta.
Yes, sir.
You know, feel say right now, the government come down too late on this.
Me feel so. Yeah, me kind of feel that way it is. Me kind of feel so. In a little way in the back of my mind, me feel so. Yeah, me kind of feel so.
Yeah, them should have do this long time.
Yeah, me feel say the gate shut. I mean, the ass gone through. But the ass gone through over the other side.
Yeah.
America and them places, Canada and all them places. But I don't know, we can't scrape up still. We kind of know. Little scrapings must be there.
I worry for people still don't get butter in for him, man.
Eh?
Yeah, man. He feels so, man.
Well?
Babylon, and Rasta, man, now go agree out there. Then
Well, like, for instance, now, where them go bata Rastafari?
No, but they don't know, say, Babylon don't love Rasta Babylon.
No, me don't know about that. But me ask you, where the Rasta, in relationship to the herbs, where the Babylon are going to beat down the Rasta boats? Where am I going to do?
But it ain't go a long time.
No, wait, no, brother, it's a different thing now. Them are make the thing legitimate now and all them something there. So me ask you, what is it? Me never say that, but it's a go on long time under different condition. Now this is a different condition. So me ask you, what is it that Babylon going to beat down Rastafari when it come on to herbs? You gonna blow herbs with a policeman face?
No, me not say that.
Yeah, so me ask you, what is it that Babylon going to beat down the Rastaman for now when it come on to herbs?
They don't know Babylon now go straight, brethren. You don't know that.
No, me ask you a question. You tell me about me done when me know. Me ask you what is it that Babylon is going to beat down Rastafari as it relates to herbs? What is it? What is it that the Rastaman going to do that the Babylon going to beat down the Rastaman for? Don't ask me.
But look, you know, are you attack? You know, you say you see happening, you know, in a certain place.
Yeah, but that is when the thing never stay like how it stay as no upon this paper you may read.
Okay, so you say they're different now.
There is no most different. You know if you say they're different.
Yeah, well, them now
go fingerprint if you have spliff. That's not different.
Yeah.
That means, you know, you can't go down at the embassy and then when them send you down at the thing for criminal record, if you don't kill a man, shot a man, or do something to a man, them now go say, well, see, that you have a drug charge. What was your drug charge? Ganja. That now go there again. So, if you don't kill a man, shot a man, or do something to a man, them now go say, well, see, that you have a drug charge. What was your drug charge? Ganja. That now go there again. So, they're not different thing that.
Okay.
If Rastaman keep a function, and it's related to Rasta, him can't go say, well, why am I keep a Rasta function? I have ganja there and the police that will come intimidate him. That's not different.
Oh, and he can't sell him herbs same way.
Sell him herbs where?
Which part him do it? Then suppose if him have a function, whatever.
But you people don't sell herbs. People don't sell herbs. People don't sell herbs. Bingy not supposed to sell herbs in a Bingy Rasta.
So what about on the street?
What about on the streets? What about on the street?
What do you mean about on the street?
Yeah, Bridget, you see, you take the thing on a levels just now, you know. We are talking about if things are the same. I mean, I tell you, say, if a policeman catch you with 50 pounds of ganja seal up packet to go away, I'm going to lock you up. I mean,
No, me I listen, you know.
Them never legalize ganja, you know.
Yeah.
It's not legalization of the ganja they matter about, you know. Is it decriminalize? You know what decriminalize mean?
Tell me.
Decriminalize means, if them fine you with, like a Rastaman a walk and a burn a spliff. And them catch you Rastaman a burn the spliff. Them usually carry you go to jail, lock you up, fingerprint you, carry you go to court and say, boy, right now, you're a criminal. That's done with now. That's not no, but that I got done with. Them now got criminalize you again for have a spliff. That is what decriminalize means. That means that you're not a criminal again because you have a spliff. Yeah, so,
me hear you.
But them don't legalize it, you know. It's not legalize them and legalize it, you know. Don't mix up the thing, you know. It don't mean, say, boy, you got hear, say, boy, see the ganja free now, so you plant all 100 pounds of ganja in a yard and feed the policeman now, go lick it down. Because if him still tell you how much plant you supposed to have, you know, him say 5 or fewer ganja plants on premises. That means that you can't have 100, you can't have a acre of ganja and then say, boy, you legalize. It's not legalized. It is getting there. We know that must have forget this all. But you must conjure up in your head, say, you can't go plant 100 pounds of ganja now and say, ganja free. But yet, let me say, it is not the same thing like how it was first time. It's not going to be the same way.
Yeah.
All right?
Fair enough.
All right, sir. Give thanks.
Yeah, man, give thanks.
You know, a man, I can show you some ignorance in the society, you know. I'm a brethren passed me the other day and I said, Mosa, See me, I blow my spliff, you know. What you have to say about that? I mean, so what you have to say about that? If a police pass it around, they lock up your blouse and skirt. That's how we have. Ignorance is not this, you know. Once I really take a serious reason and sit down and understand what these men and people is doing. You can't just go out there with your ignorance because, well, you know, you have to ganja free now. Ganja not free. Them never legalize ganja, or them don't intend to legalize ganja. Them make certain provisions for you not to be what you call criminalized because of this thing. So don't go out there and talk, like, don't tell nobody say you're Mutabaruka about ganja legalized. You know. I never said not like that. I read the statement. And I'm going to read it again because I feel it's important that people understand exactly what is happening. Okay, so I can see where I'm going. So yes, yeah. Wait, that way I'm going. All right. Listen to what I say, as you know. And if you don't understand what I say, you call me and I will try my best to explain it. Government has announced long-awaited changes to the legislation governing ganja as part of plans, as part of plans to decriminalize the use and cultivation of the drug. All right. This is part of a plan. It's a legislation them are deal with in a parliament. Them don't sign off on it, you know. But it get in there. Them say it's part of a plan to decriminalize the use and cultivation of the drug. The announcement was made this morning by Justice Minister Senator Mark Golding, who said that the bill was approved by Cabinet on Monday. He says amendments to the Dangerous Drugs Act will be tabled in the Senate this week. In addition, Mr. Golding says the Ganja Reform Act 2015 will see a number of changes made to the treatment and trafficking of ganja and will allow for religious use, among other things. It don't happen yet, you know. It don't happen yet. They are working on it. We will see a number of changes made to the treatment and trafficking of ganja and will allow for religious use, among other things. In addition, the revised provisions in the bill will see the exclusion of hemp from the definition of dangerous drugs and the removal of the existing penalties for smoking ganja. The legislation makes provision for smoking ganja in a public place to become a ticketable. That means if you smoke ganja in a public place, just like cigarette, it is not allowed. That means a man can't go stand up out what them call the place Burger King, and I talk about him and light up him spliff, I light up him chalice. It don't work that way. It's there so we're going to, there's so would love it too, but it don't work that way. All right. The legislation will make provision for smoking ganja in a public place to become a ticketable infraction, as well as allow for the cultivation of 5 or fewer ganja plants and premises for medical or therapeutic use. Listen, you know. Listen. You have to show, if you plant ganja in a yard, 5 or fewer ganja plants. If them come in your yard and see 50 ganja plants, you're going to go to jail. You shall be charged. If you plant 5 of them, you still have to go get accounts why you have 5 ganja plants in your house, in your yard. You have to go prove say it's for medical or therapeutic use. Okay. The bill will also empower the Justice Minister. The bill will empower the Justice Minister to authorize a person, group, or organization adherent to the Rastafari faith to cultivate ganja to be used for religious purposes, as well as declare an event. I'm not going to deal with it. Cultivate ganja to use for religious purpose. In other words, the Justice Minister, at his discretion, can authorize the Bobo them, 12 tribe, Naya Bingi, wheresoever the organization of Rasta is. Him can authorize them, him can make them plant ganja, but the ganja must be used for religious purposes. And him also can declare an event exempt. This event is to allow for the use of ganja to the Rastafari faith. That means the Rastafari community gathering as a Rastafari community, have a Rastafari keep a stage show where everybody there they do them thing. But this must be seen as a legitimate Rastafari gathering, where Rastafari is dealing with Rastafari thing. Him can authorize these Rastafari brethren to have ganja at that event. Freely, them can use it freely at the event. So, him can declare an event, an exempt event, to allow for the use of ganja in adherence to the Rastafari faith. That means the use of the ganja amongst these groups must be related to Rastafari faith. The minister also said that the reforms will allow for persons with chronic health issues to utilize ganja once approved by health practitioners. That means, if you have, where you think you have glaucoma, and you think the smoke off of the ganja can help you, you have to go find a doctor to approve it. That means you can't just smoke ganja, so in the road, and I say, anyway, and I say, boy, right now, you ask me, I bother me, my nose itch me, therefore me need some ganja because my nose itch me. No, you have to go to approved, it has to be approved by a health practitioner. Additionally, the amendments will provide for a new regulatory body, the Cannabis Licensing Authority, which will be responsible establishing a regulated hemp and medical marijuana industry. That means they're going to start a marijuana industry. The bill will be tabled in the upper house first, as the Justice Minister also sits in the Senate. Additionally, the Cabinet will be meeting tomorrow to discuss certain issues, including this, after which the government will update the public. So, that I will read it tomorrow again. So, this is where them give way. This is where it's out there now. It is not something that is signed off on yet. The Cabinet agree on it. It is going through legislation, and soon we will hear the outcome of it. But I don't want a man go and celebrate tomorrow night or tonight and go get 10 pounds of ganja slung in a half a tree square upon it. It don't work that way. You understand? Okay.
El Muta,
how you doing?
First car for 2015.
Yes. I say, yeah, man. Long time I don't hear from you, man.
Yes, sir. You know.
You take all
but
the
everything is. Yes, take a little break. You know, busy otherwise, certain other things and so on. But everything is good. You know.
Yeah, man.
And just want to wish my African race in Jamaica, all 14 parishes, and outside of Jamaica, to all the best for 2015, because We have not much stop work to do as usual for the progress and benefit of our African people at home and abroad, and thing. I love how you make it clear to the listeners that this decriminalization thing with ganja, because some people, as you and I know, ignorance is not bliss.
And call it legalized. When you decriminalize, them say legal.
Yes.
Yeah, man, a man tell me that the other day, say, more time I see me born me ganja here now.
Yes, me here, yes.
Yeah, man, me tell him to Bridget, if a policeman pass, I know he think me going to do nothing. God.
I mean, of course, what the regime is doing right now is as a result of pressure from the grassroots for years upon years, as we know one thing, and we want more things and so, because we want a situation to whereby cultivation of ganja otherwise will benefit we, because we know the Americans, their thing is that they don't want any competitor, as we know.
Of course.
They don't want to have no farmer competitor at all, because from a long time, Jamaica ganja being the best in the world, that's why they use the pressure ganja coming from Jamaica, and that's how the cocaine thing
come over
came in to a large extent. Exactly. You and I know this, and certain people know this, but for the younger ones and ones who never knew otherwise, the pressure that was put on by the US and PNP and GLP political regimes, pressuring the cultivation of ganja, natural substance, allowed the importation of cocaine
with
very destructive effects.
Then them do the same helicopter don't have to kill out the plant, them and the way them kill out all the coconut tree, them and all of that things.
Precisely. The other operation, when them call it Operation Buccaneer.
Yes. I think it was Reagan in the Reagan time, Reagan era.
Yes, and throughout, destroying, poison.
Yeah.
Coconut and other agricultural produce and that type of thing.
War and drugs.
Yes, definitely, and we have to send out and always remember our African people in Nigeria, at least 2,000 of them, man, woman, boys and girls murdered by jihadist Boko Haram and thing, and bad luck Jonathan.
No, you know something?
Reading about what's happening, yes.
The bridging there come to me like a little hip-hop artist, like a joker. No, am I the president of the most populated African country in
the world?
Yeah, and them say 1 out of every 4 black man is a Nigerian, right? How is it that this man have a population where the army is there, and this group can just take over the north of the country just like that, and go in another country? How that possible?
It goes to show that he's a stooge of the Europeans, because the Nigerian army, is the largest army in Africa,
Yeah, they have more people than everybody else.
Yes, and it's also the largest army to some people think that maybe is the one in South Africa, the Nigerian army, and they have strength to be killing other Nigerians in the Delta region where the oil is from and elsewhere, but they do have no so-called strength to deal with these Muslim terrorists.
Well, I don't understand.
And him have tears to be shedding for 17 who died in Paris, in France.
Yeah.
But nothing to say about Nigerians, precisely.
In our own country, and they talk about 5 people were dead in France.
In France, you see? And up to now, those young girls who were kidnapped at Chibok from months ago, no recovery of them.
Yes.
No recovery of them. And it goes to show that these are the kind of misleaders who we have to get rid of in any country that is supposedly African, because they are the stumbling blocks who the European racists and others use to keep our people in down pressure and suffering. Because Nigeria, with the resources that it has,
Yeah, man.
People in Nigeria are supposed to have one of the highest standards of living in the world.
The richest black woman in the world is a Nigerian woman.
Exactly.
The richest black woman in the world is a Nigerian woman, yeah.
Amidst deep poverty for the vast majority of the people.
But
you know that
Lagos, you ever go Lagos? You ever see Lagos, Trassa? And the most confusing place in the world, man, Lagos.
Yes. You know, it is really sad. Can you imagine Nigeria who have oil?
Yes.
And them still having power cuts and all of them type of things.
Every day, man. It come like Jamaica, man. May I tell you.
Precisely. And Jamaica do have any oil, so to speak.
Let me tell you something. My computer was damaged.
Yes.
Because I plug in my computer and it does chip out. When me look, them not have no for them generator take like it look like I'm gonna have to go to turn on the generator. And then when the generator come on now, your computer come back. And then when the generator when the power come back now, they have to go turn they have to turn on the generator. Hey, I tell you, look they don't use the rasta. Look they don't use madness. And I love the reasoning. The truth and rights reason where you give about the vendors with respect to rebel salute because people must deal with the reality of the situation. You can't expect people to be spending thousands upon thousands for them stall inside and then thing. Of course, we know that sound system, dances and other things and so vendors it's part of the key thing. Yeah, but there are different things for different things. Yeah, and not only that though.
It's not that type of situation.
But not only that now, give which part Rebel Salute keep to, you know, it's a major highway thoroughfare, you know. So you can't have vendors spread out on a road if you quick cross and I go cross road and I come cross road. Because it's a highway.
Because it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's a
dangerous.
Highway, you know,
people will die.
Yeah, and it's sure it's very far from the road. Because when you come inside, you know, you have to drive, go way down to come in at the place which part of the show keep. So the logistics of that not too proper need to entertain them something there still. But when I say, when we really want, go back to this. Well, go back to this Boko Haram for them and this.
Boko Haram, yes.
When I say no, you see, what to the AU?
The AU?
Yeah, the African Union.
Yes, African Union. Is a eunuch. It's just there as a figurehead because the AU people, the so-called heads of state who are supposed to be dealing with it. Number one, the reason why the AU is not able to do a lot of things is that most of the states who are supposed to contribute money towards the upkeep of the AU are not doing it. Yeah. That's number one. Number two, because most of the so-called heads of states in the AU depend on the Europeans mostly, the so-called aid and thing. Yeah. Whenever they are supposed to make decisions on behalf of the African people in their respective countries, and as a whole, they are not able, they do not do that. And this is why, for example, Obama was able, sometime last year, to call them into the States at a meeting to give them instructions on what to do. And this was the meeting where President Mugabe was not invited because they know that if he was invited, he would have gone and denounced the brazen behavior of Obama of wanting to dictate what people in Africa must do, because Obama is about helping as much as possible his people who control him and himself in America. Obama is not about our African interests in Africa.
Yeah, well,
so President Mugabe was deliberately excluded because they know that he would have kicked up storm.
Obama has militarized Africa more than any other president in America.
More than any other president. Yeah. He has launched more drone attacks in Africa, killing more Africans than even George Bush Jr.
Yes.
And when he was coming into power, when he was looking to become president for the first time, he promised George Bush Jr. that the racist sanctions, the Zidera Act, to cripple Zimbabwe economically, that if he won, he would maintain it. And he kept his promise.
Then he never get a peace prize, though.
Exactly. But you and I know that the Nobel so-called peace prize is a European peace.
No, me know, but me does say. But me does say.
Yes.
You get a peace prize, and more people dead in Afghanistan than under George Bush, who everybody did as a demon. This president killed more picnic and more women in Afghanistan with them drone than any other
in Africa
president.
too.
Yeah, than any other president.
Any other president.
And them still killing. Because even sanctions on countries cause death too. When you make life miserable in the country for the people.
True. Because when you have sanctions, is health facilities and all kind of things get affected. Because as you and I know, sanctions is a form of warfare.
Of course. And them
after
50 years it never worked against Cuba and them.
No, exactly. That is in desperation.
The Cuban them has progressed in 50 years of isolation. Them have progressed in health care. Them have a better health care than America. No illiteracy in America. Them have an army where they can go into countries, go help other country. Them send, instead of them send soldiers, them send doctors to Liberia to go help the Ebola.
While the Americans and the British send soldiers to Liberia.
They don't know why them send soldiers,
to combat Ebola, but it's a front to establish the military system there.
Yes.
And as we're talking about Cuba, Muta, you and I, another Pan-Africanist, must watch that situation in Cuba and support our sister, Assata Shakur, because
them not still say she's on a terrorist list.
Precisely. And I'm sure that them saying to Raul that them would like her as some kind of deal for normalization. And we must protect that sister. She wrote a letter, an open letter about this threat that was published in the Zimbabwe Herald.
Never see when we want to play with her, so, when she talk.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm going to send you a copy of that letter that she wrote just a few weeks ago that was published in the Zimbabwe Herald. And talking about publication, what I noticed for a long time is that they talk about so-called freedom of the press in Jamaica. But the Zimbabwe Herald, who the enemies denounce falsely, they allow opposite views to President Mugabe to be printed in that paper. But you see, Gleaner and Observer in Jamaica, you know, many times in the past I have stopped. They write wrong things about Marcus Garvey and wrong things about Pan-Africans and things. And when I write a letter to correct the thing, they don't publish, you know.
Yeah.
And they're talking about freedom of the press. And it reminds me of when Marcus Garvey Jr.'s mother, who you knew also well, Amy Jakes Garvey, the second wife, that when she used to complain to Theodore Seeley at the Gleaner in the 60s, when he was the editor then, that when she write her letters to expose the lies that the Gleaner would publish about Marcus Garvey, her husband, in those times, that he wouldn't publish it, Theodore Seeley, who, by the way, used to go to Kingston Technicality, you know, and thing. But, yeah, born in Panama, like George Headley and thing. And you know what? He told her that if she wants her letters to be published, she must have her own newspaper.
Yeah, this is Amy Jakes Garvey, the wife of
Amy Jakes Garvey, the wife, exactly, the second wife. Because, you know, the first one, Amy Ashwood, and my cousin. And in January, the 10th of January just gone, was the anniversary of the birth of the first wife, Amy Ashwood Garvey, who was born the 10th of January 1897 in Portland, Jamaica.
Yeah.
And let us also remember our brother who you know very well to, and you used to sell his books to, Brother Tony Martin,
yes,
who on the 17th
who gave
January
us most of the books
2013, he passed away. Yes, Race First.
Published most of the book them by Garvey.
Yes, and his majority press thing.
Yeah,
Race First course of African philosophy, and of course him republish the philosophy and opinions and the poetical works of Marcus Garvey and so on, you know.
African
a man who's earth strong coming up, because he was born the 21st of February 1942. Muta, let me tell you, just keep on doing the work that you are doing. Because
we don't have no other work, you know.
The amount of enemy propaganda.
We don't have no other work.
Precisely.
This is the only thing we know to do.
Only work, exactly. This is our only mission. And we have been doing what we have been doing from our school days at Kingston Technical High School with Marcus Garvey Jr., you know, and so on. And it is good that we have maintained the consistency of fighting for African emancipation, because we know a lot of people who we went to school with and who were involved in the African liberation movement have fallen by the wayside. Yes, just give up, get disillusioned.
Yes, some of them don't like the oppressor now, have become the oppressor.
Exactly, and beyond I don't have to call names, but we know some of them who have become part of the down-pressing gang of fighting against African people. And they know themselves, and they know that we know them. So it goes to show that we have no other work to do other than to keep on doing what we African people are doing for the liberation of our people all over the world. So keep up the good work, my brethren. See? Blessed Lord.
Cutting edge.
Cutting, Kevin, well gone.
Yeah, man, blessed man, there.
Blessed, man. So much thing on the board, you know, man.
Well, nah, come on, you know, choppings, but nah, come on.
Yeah, tell her, before me, we talk about the marijuana. Sean Paul is supposed to go up on a show, and then he threaten him. That show they keep already happening.
Never keep.
Okay. That's what me never hear nothing in the news about it. But with the marijuana, I think so much marijuana tune your ear now, you know, just marijuana, man, the ganja weed.
I may play them.
Yeah, I mean, this one with Richie Innocent, a while ago, named Herbalist, you know?
Yeah.
The next good one. But it's best, remember the night I talked with Ralph Smith, man, the night I learned so much about weed that night, I mean, tell us.
From Colorado,
Nal. Yes, a real ganja man, you know, sir.
And him there every year for the Peter Todd tribute down our Westmoreland, you know, every year him come here.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, man, you learn about marijuana different from him, from cannabis.
Let me not go to the man yard, go to the man yard, and I tell you, man, the man have, we don't know, all him dog and marijuana and some blouse and skirt, I tell you.
Yeah, and tell about the endocannabinoid and the endocannabinoid.
Yeah, man. And they're really into it, man. I'm into it.
That's tell man, but I didn't know so personally that tell most people say boy illegal at Jamaica. I'm surprised because you know too Bob Marley and thing and
I will people feel so. I will people all of Europe. When you tell them say you can't smoke ganja in Jamaica, them things say a joke can make.
Yeah, man, so I tell them, man, I have a little experience with all the police, them what they to operate, you know. Me there on a open field and me I do some running and some stretching and thing, and you see them a come to me and say, right, Michael Brown, Eric Garner, you know. You see it. But them come and say them a look for a man where Rusty run across the field or rob a house and say, well, what they do, me don't really see nobody still, and I'm a question when they realize the boy, you know, me alright, me just do, and when next police pull up now and it's like him come down and he says a black man come, a white man come first and a black man come and he realize that me come from Jamaica and the conversation gone in a marijuana. I mean, I said, I come marijuana, I mean, the big police them. It's like that I sit down and talk about. So, him there, I said, boy, I'm watching news and he has so much money. I said, man, you're making so much money in Colorado. I mean, I said, man. And he said, man, if they don't make it legal here in Florida, I'm going to move to Colorado. I'm going to say, because I don't know if you're going to copy, see if you're going to say, boy, you want to me out from on that yard, you know.
Yeah. But no, you can't really mention that, but within the full side, still, only for them really, only for them policemen, they know about the ganja fully still.
Yeah, because just to show you, you know, the system that have you, but the police, them ever lock you up, them want to work with it too.
Yeah,
but I just saw the system that have you.
Set them up,
you know, because the end of the day, we are uniform, you know, uniform stand for certain things again.
Yeah.
So just to show the system really dictate to people. And we really would like, you know, still, like Christian and Pastor, so what them think about marijuana? Like, really and truly, like, I mean, how them think?
Them don't want it. You think they want it legalized? You think they want it
legalized? But remember, you know, in a Genesis, you know, say, herbs are healing our nation. I mean, on top of the levels of man, I say, yeah, we just all burn herbs, not on that kind of crazy level there. But healing in terms of, not just marijuana still, you know, but herbs in general.
Yeah.
But me not see nobody I go to the herbs and them sick most. A doctor, them work with where you get a pill and you have 20 different side effects.
Yeah, with Christian now. I'm going to tell you something with Christian people now. Christian people go to church and them pray to God and pray to Jesus. You see, when them sick, them go out there, man.
I don't realize.
Most Christians live a country. May I tell you this? When we used to live a country, most of them have this big church service, you know. I used to, when something wrong with them find little Obia man around the corner where them call Obia man. Ask them who make them foot swell. And if them have anything
for me, man,
take with them man and all them up there. And them no go to church, go ask pastor that. It's a lucky thing, them have somebody on the radio named Dear Pastor, no way, you can't go say, Dear Pastor, you want to say, the man thief my man, you know, where you think me should have, the woman thief my man, you know, where you think me should have do with her? And Pastor said, well, we just go and pray to the Lord and everything is okay.
Yeah, you cannot, we never tell me night. But for that, man, Dr. Sebi, he always talk about that. You know, when I come up to Atlanta, they want to go listen to the lecture and document it, you know, so we have it, you know.
All right, sir.
I mean, tell the people, them, see the people, them rob up people tax money if they pay the lawyer again. Jamaican people are suffer more, boy.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah, everything are going terrible. Anyway, we're going right, we're going.
Yes, man, give thanks, give thanks.
It's the beautiful champagne, make I call the 1 till 10. Pass the champagne, pass it over. Pass the champagne, pass it over. See, down the cover, just to find my sexy lover. I was so in the kitchen, toasting bread and frying chicken. So, pass the everybody start man hustling. I know Sergeant Query is waiting. Everybody start man hustling. I know it's my neck I'm risking. Everybody start man hustling. But you
yes.
Yeah, alright.
They're cutting edge.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I'm asking about the weed for you, man.
About the what?
About the weed. We have to smoke it now in your place. If you have a chalice about it in my yard now and them come in there, I mean, I'm outside, in my chalice, in my yard.
No, well, no, them not supposed to come in the yard, come show you.
In chalice?
Them not supposed to come in the yard, come show you, man.
Oh, because to them say, to me always hear them say chalice a different charge, like, different from the weed, is it?
Yeah, well, chalice a big amount.
Yeah.
Well, them not tell you about the amount, them not tell you about the amount you're not supposed to plant more than 5 plants in your yard.
Oh.
They must say if you have 4 plants in your yard, you're all right. But if you have 10 plants in your yard, something more funny.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the amount of plants.
Yeah, you're talking about your chalice. You're talking about your chalice.
Yeah.
Me no hear them mention about chalice, but suppose you're a rasta, you keep a rasta function.
Yeah, me a rasta. No, me not talking about function. I say me a rasta.
No, me no know. Them no mention nothing about that, and me no know. Me not go ask one of them.
No, alright, me not say no. Suppose not travel on the road now, me a carry a little quantity with me. How much?
I think them not say 8 ounces or something like that, you know. Something like that I did hear one at a time.
Oh,
no more than 8 ounces.
Me can't pour them, can't lock me up for your phone then.
But what I want to know now, the bingy, no, when me I try to find out now about this bingy thing, if Rasta allowed in a certain it's a in a event. If Rastafari keep an event,
yeah,
them we allowed ganja in at the event. But when me want to find out how the ganja go reach at the event.
Yeah,
because suppose the event need 2 cocos bag of ganja.
Yeah.
Suppose it's all a 7-day bingy, and it need 2 cocos bag of ganja, and you are the man who is designated for carry 2 cocos bag go to the bingy.
Yeah.
Suppose the policeman stop you on the road and find the 2 cocos bag. Can you tell him say the bingy you carried it to? I don't know.
I don't know. Me the fireman now, me have to without the phone, you know.
No, but I have to find out, you know. I have to find out how it go. Because if maybe they would have said, well, you have to call the organization we are keeping for rectify, say you actually carry the 2 crocus bag of ganja go to the event. I don't know, but I have to find out still.
So as I as a Rasta now, so me I keep an event now. I'm a Rasta man and I keep I gather me and my wage. I and I wage in them.
Rasta.
What part that now?
No, him the minister. Him the minister exempt. Yeah, him can give permission. Him said the bill will also empower the justice minister to authorize a person, group or organization.
Yeah.
So it you can get it's like them say you keep a session and you have to go get work, you have to go get nice what them call it time.
The permit.
Yeah, the permit. Well, maybe the same thing. If you go keep a something as a Rasta man in your yard, him have the authority to get a person, group or organization. They go ahead for deal with it. And him can also give you the go ahead to plant ganja too. If it is related to the religious organization.
Yeah.
If it's related to the religious organization.
So is a fireman one. As me a fireman, once I want to start something more time I agree. So me don't want to classify myself.
Where is a fireman? Where is that about fireman? Where is that about? They don't say a Rasta man and talk to where you're a fireman, man. You're only a fireman, we are no Rasta, you know.
Okay. We are the Rasta, right? I don't know. Once I want to think that we don't agree with, so we don't do for myself for no organization.
Yeah, we don't belong to the organization either.
Alright. So I have to know. If me as a Rasta, I keep up now, I come from the organization.
You never hear me say, you know. You never hear me.
You don't just say you have to come from an organization.
Wait, no, man, you never listen to, hey, brethren, me no like, listen to me, I say, no, man. The bill will also empower the justice minister to authorize a person, group, or you say you never hear that? You say hear the organization.
Yeah.
It's a person, group, or organization. All right?
Yeah.
All right, brethren, give thanks. All right, so, I'm not going to keep saying the same thing over and over. So we'll play a ganja tune from after 10. And we'll stop playing ganja tune and know what's something to do. And we can't go and play till morning, you know. But why me I say that now is this now, that can you imagine Jamaican artists make so much music about ganja? And this is not the place where spearhead the legitimacy of ganja to the point where now it would appear that the benefits that's supposed to be derived from this plant is taken out of the hands of Jamaica and Jamaicans into the hands of people who was against it. And then little more you're going to hear Monsanto come in. And we're going to deal with the seed them. I keep repeating it, you know, save the seed them, you know, because when Monsanto reaches, so, you know, if a little strain of your thing ever blow over film place or film thing ever blow over your place, and them know say that seed that it come over here, so your seed, you're gone at some big courthouse. Yeah. We're there from 10 o'clock, a little after 10. All of the tune them is related to the development will take place today in Jamaica, where the government has reached a stage now where Parliament passed certain things in the house to just sign off on it now for really make this plant, take it out of the space of criminality in the position of people. Take it out of the criminality. But tell me, suppose a man get order for 200 pounds of ganja for carry go and bring it, and police stop him on the road with it, how that will go? Or if you keep a party, and each person in the ward 8 ounces. I did ask a question there already, you know. Each person in the ward 8 ounces. And you have 50 people in there, and I deliver to those 50 people 8 ounces each. And 8 ounces multiplied by 50 is more than the allotted amount where you're supposed to have for you. So how those people go and get it? I have to go ask somebody who is in a right state of mind, not my mind. Right state of mind to tell me exactly how that go. If I get out of if 10 8 ounce of ganja or 58 ounce stick of ganja, and I drive go to Beverly Hills, I drive go to Cherry Garden, go get the people them, and police stop me on the road and find it. How that I go? How that I go? Double. Yes, we give thanks. Mr. Matrix is in the house and now ready to take over till 6 o'clock. Give thanks to the moment, give thanks to the time, give thanks to the energy. Give thanks to stay with me. Them was a night, I listen to pure ganja music. Ganja music from 10 o'clock till now. I tell you, which part is you going to hear that? Ganja music right, Joe. I know we're going to play 2 more before we begin. My break will be a trick. Yeah, we're going to play 2 more. This is the one. This is one of them out of the 2 we're going to play. Believe me.